people out there. Are you hungry? I hope you are, because you're watching Ndunkulu's Kitchen with Mako TV. You know how we do. Okay, so my very sweet sister Bianca Valivelu shared a recipe with me recently, and I even tasted her version of it, and it was so delicious. I decided to do something a bit different with it for you today. So what I'm going to be showing you today is actually my Makotilicious spin on a New Zealand classic. That's where it originated. It's called Pavlova. It's such an easy and simple yet delicious dish. I have tweaked the ingredients here and there, and I'm going to be showing you my version of it. I hope you do enjoy it. It's so simple, guys. You can make this at home, and it's definitely a crowd pleaser. So please do watch the rest of this video so that you can learn how to make my coffee, almond and cherry pavlova with a makoti twist. Thank you so much, guys, for your love and support, for always continuing to send your love, your blessings my way. I really do appreciate it. Make sure that you do subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on notifications, pop-ups, so that you can be the first to know when I do drop a new video. This one coming soon. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, let's start with our pavlova. So all you need is 5 egg whites. So we're separating the yolk from the egg white. So that's 5 egg whites into a bowl. You need 1 cup of caster sugar, 1 tablespoon of corn flour or maizena, and I'm using 1 tablespoon of almond essence. Okay, so we're just going to get a hand blender or a mixer, and we're going to lightly mix our egg whites just a bit before we put in the other ingredients. So just going in there. Okay, I'm adding my caster sugar. I'm putting in my 1 cup of corn flour. Get all of that in, and then my 1 tablespoon of almond essence. Sorry, it was 1 tablespoon corn flour, 1 tablespoon almond essence. My pavlova is done. I transferred it into a bigger dish just because I realized that it needs a bigger room for air to go in it, for it to become a bit more foamy and reach between soft and stiff peaks. So keep that in mind when you are trying this at home. Okay, now we're ready to put it in the oven. So what we're going to do, I got myself an oven tray and I've lined it with grease paper. If you can see, I've just made a circle impression here by tracing around a plate. So this is going to be like my guide when I am spooning out the mixture, just for me to know exactly where I'm going. Okay, so there's our mixture. We're going to just take some like this. It's going to be a bit runny, and we're just making some dollops all around within our circle. you can get the lovely smell of the almond essence. It's so strong and beautiful. Okay, then on top of each of my balls that I've made already, I can just go around again and make them a bit bigger, because I have enough of the mixture. Okay, and that's done. Then with my spoon, I'm just going to give it a little flick on each one, just to say hey, like such. And then with the back of my spoon, I'm just going to go around it like this to smoothen out the top. There we go. So this goes into the oven at 120 degrees Celsius for about an hour. Once the hour is up and you're happy with your pavlova, you remove it from the oven and you cool down for about 10 minutes. And there you have the first step of making your pavlova. Done. So now I have my pavlova in the oven. It's time to move on to the other aspects of the dish. So we're going to be working on our sauce that's going to be drizzled over the pavlova. Now, in actual fact, my recipe is an almond coffee and cherry pavlova. However, because of this time of the year, cherries are not in season. To my disappointment, I thought I could find at least one tub of it, but I couldn't anyway. So I'm substituting the cherries for strawberries, and I'm using raspberries as well. It's not the original recipe that I have come up with. However, we're still gonna go on with the show. So I'm gonna make a little bit of a sauce. All I'm using is some chopped up strawberries, raspberries, a little bit of caster sugar and some water into our hand blender. So just gonna chop up some of the strawberries into here. Now if you don't want to use a hand blender, you can also make, instead of just a normal sauce, you can make a compote. A compote basically is stewed fruit, so you can put the same ingredients onto a stove and let it boil, mix together, and then you have the same outcome. But we're just going to do this a bit faster, so we don't need that much. I'm just using about 4 to 5 strawberries from Woolworths, so they did go to private school, they're high class. Okay, I'm going to take a few berries, which are raspberries. Remember, I'm keeping some aside for presentation as well, so I'm not using all. Okay, just a handful of raspberries. Then I'm putting in, let's say, about 1.5 teaspoons of caster sugar. You can use normal sugar if you have. That's not a problem. And then just a little bit of water to get some liquid going. Okay, wish me luck. Okay, that's on, and let's see what it's going to do. Okay, and I think that was so totally fast and awesome. And that is your strawberry or berry sauce that we're going to put over your pavlova. Then moving on to our next part of our pavlova, which is the cream. So in a dish like this, I got 500 ml of pouring cream. Here's a tip when you are whisking pouring cream and trying to make it into thick cream. Take your equipment before even using it and put it into the fridge or the freezer for it to chill, so that when you are using it, it's nice and iced. What happens is when it's at room temperature, or if it's even hot in your kitchen, it's going to affect the temperature of your cream, and it's going to affect obviously the process of whisking, which will take much longer. So that's just a heads up. Into my 500 ml of pouring cream, I'm going to get a teaspoon. I don't have a teaspoon, or a tablespoon rather. I'm going to use instant coffee. I'm going to use 2 teaspoons. So I'm just going to pour that in, or plop that in actually. So 2 teaspoons of that, which is coffee, and I'm going to be using half a cup of powdered sugar, which is icing sugar or confectioner's sugar. So that's going to go in. That's going to allow the cream to get a bit more thicker and hold its shape. And then we're going to get going. So basically you're going to be whisking this until you get some soft peaks and it's thick enough to hold its shape on your pavlova. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So my pavlova has rested well. It's cooled down. I just took it off the oven tray and put it onto this wooden board so that if anything spills over, it's cool. So now we're going to decorate it, which is a fun part. I have all my elements. Let's just go through what I'm going to be using. I'm using some whipped cream, which I infuse some coffee into. Almonds. A hint or a tip is, if you want a bit more of texture, you should roast those almonds in the oven for maybe even half an hour or so, just to get a bit more of crunch. I'm using strawberries fresh. I'm going to pull out the leaves from it. I got pomegranate. I have my mix I made earlier, which is the raspberry, strawberry, a little bit of water and caster sugar, and some raspberries, and then just for garnish, some fresh mint. Okay, so first, what are we doing? Let me just get myself a knife. Okay, first we're going to take some of our fresh cream and we're going to just spoon it around. Just putting dollops here and there. You will notice that your pavlova or your meringue is already so flaky, but it managed to stay in the shape that we put it into the oven, so that's a good thing. Okay. You're going to have some fresh cream left over. You can keep that for maybe making yourself a milkshake, or even if you just want to overload the pavlova with the fresh cream, that's fine. Get a bit more there. Okay, then I'm taking my syrup. Let me just remove this out from it. It's not that thick. If you want it to be a bit more thick, you will remove the water from it, or do not add water. You just add extra of the caster sugar. Okay, we're just going to sprinkle here and there like such. Okay, so it like drops on the edges. Therefore, using the chopping board in the bottom helps, because it's going to be a bit messy around the edges. Okay, we don't need to put too much, just a little here and there. Okay, next, what are we going to do? Let's get some strawberries. As I said, I'm removing the leaves of it, so we can put strawberries either as halves or wholes, wherever we want to. Just get them stuck here and there. I think it's a bit better to use them as halves, or actually wholes, depending on your preference. So just randomly pop them here and there. Okay, let's do one more. A half there, and maybe one just inside there. Then we're going to use our raspberries and just plop them wherever. You can keep the raspberries whole. Raspberries. Also went to private institution from Woolies, because it seems that Woolies has stock of the berries that you would need. So yeah. Okay, just one more there. Then what do we add? Let's throw in some pomegranates, just here and there. The seeds, where it falls, can just leave them. Some are just running away from me. So maybe we have to like meticulously put them in place. Sometimes food, it just doesn't listen. Okay. Then my touch that I'm adding to it, we're going to put some almonds. You can use shaved almonds, you can grate these or whatever, but I'm just going to be putting them myself individually. I stole these almonds from my sister, thinking that she won't catch me, but when she watches this video, then she's gonna know what I've done. Okay, and adding these almonds also gives it a nice texture in your mouth, because it's a bit harder, it's crunchy in your mouth, not just every single element of this dish being one texture, which is very important in the hospitality industry. So remember that if you're planning on making a dish that has different types of textures, just to excite your guests. Okay, almond sorted, and then we just have our sprigs of mint, which go wherever you like, just for some decoration and also for some freshness, because the smell is just so beautiful. One of my favorite scents is herbs, very aromatic. So we just have it all around like this. You don't even need much, don't want to overkill it, but you want to show that you took some consideration in making them. Should we put one in here, just on the inside, so as not to forget that we do have an inside. But that one can just go in there. Okay guys, and this is ready for serving. If you are not serving immediately, it can go into your fridge just as is. That is your Pavlova, made